We're going through the top characters in each tier in WWE Champions, and we're up to the elusive, the powerful, the hard-hitting S+ tier. What's up, WWE Champions Universe? This is Lee from Champions Chat, and this is the finale, at least of round 1, of the 7 best characters in every tier. We have gone through the muck and mire of C tier. We have explored the surprisingly good options in the B tier, free tier. We have looked at your A tier with some dominant characters that you probably have. I struggled through S tier because there's so many good ones. And now we come to S+ tier. Now, a couple notes before we get into our honorable mentions, because like S tier, I mean, my goodness, by definition, S+ tier is supposed to be the best in the game, right? So how do you pick 7 best characters out of a list of mostly the best characters in the game? However, there is the caveat that for the longest time, almost every Hall of Fame character was put as S+ tier. So your Hall of Fames almost become their own class. I might do another video, 7 best Hall of Fame character. Hey, look at that. I just came up with another video right now. These lists just keep on giving, right? But they some of them are very good. Some of them, like Molly right here, was literally the B tier free tier, but she was still listed as S+ tier. However, Hall of Fame Lex was your B tier free tier, and he was listed as B tier. So there is some inconsistencies in the S+ tier, but overall, these are supposed to be the characters designed with the most long shelf life of all, the easiest move sets to just get in and do damage with, the best overall power and usability. These are meant to be the top of the top. So choosing 7 was hard. Let me know in the comments section who your top 7 S+ tier are in the game, because yes, I probably missed your favorite. But first, before we get into the list, let's talk about a couple honorable mentions. All right, number 0, our honorable mentions go to 3 females that I struggled not putting on the list, but since I'm doing 7s, not 10s, I argued myself out of them. The first one is Nia Jax Striker. She is very good. Like Muta, she blows up the board multiple times. So if you wanted to use like the Black Royal Rumble plate on her, she's going to do some things with it. But the best build for her is to use the Devil's Yeet combination. And that plate combo, most people, if they have it, maybe have one set. And it's really hard to justify who you're going to put it on when, my goodness, it works on Yeet Jey Uso, it works on Gunther, it works on, I mean, so many different people. The only argument I would say to putting it to her is that you can share a belt between Jey Uso and Nia, and then you could just swap it around like that. So it really gives you the 2-for-1 punch. But other than that, man, she's so good, but there's just such better. The other one that 2 of 3 here is Alexa Bliss. And I'll admit, maybe this is just a little bit of anger from me. If I had done the flagship offer on her weekend during Zombie Month, as opposed to doing it on Slayomi's, I absolutely would have gotten Slayomi still, and definitively would have gotten Alexa Bliss. But I didn't, so maybe I'm just upset about that. But let's be honest, she is one of the top posters in the game. The reason that I took her out of the mix for the top 7 is going to be a little hypocritical. Not because I didn't want to, but because of rarity. Now, by definition, your S+ tiers, minus Hall of Fame, are supposed to be the most rare characters in the game. So for that to say, like, oh, rarity is what took her out for me, seems a little backwards. But at the same time, even among the S+ tiers, she is the rare of the rare. Her and Cody Jones, who I'm not putting on this list because he's not even available in the game for 90% of the player base. She'll come back around maybe twice a year and give you chances to get her, whereas the other S plus tiers, you're still getting shards of them, a lot of cases every month off of the month-long prize walls, the armory loot, and things like that. So for those reasons, Alexa Bliss went to an honorable mention to me. And then the last one is Io Sky. Also one of the best females in the game. I said it on the other video, but anybody on this evolution moment is absolutely one of the best females in the game and on your roster. She does have multiple movesets. This one is pretty popular for a lot of people. I personally use the trap into multi-gym build with this finisher, and I think it's great. She does get reversed a lot by other people, and just, the black move setup is what this is. Your black move damage, I'm just not a big fan of it. It takes a lot to make it work. So for me, there's just things about her that are easy to negate, although she is by far one of my favorite females to use. I have never had a problem with her trap into multi-moveset getting reversed. I just don't go up against Tiffy Time, I don't go up against Indy Hartwell. I just avoid some of those people, and I do pretty fine. But either way, those are your honorable mentions. So let's get to number 7 on our list. And I think it's going to surprise you. I think how great this character is to only be number 7. Either way, I'm giving the number 7 spot to OTC Roman. OTC is the destroying striker. He is just that dang good. He's in the bloodline moment, so your multiply gems are going up by 4. You're receiving 50% less damage, so he's got some bonuses there. Really, though, the secret to Roman is he really doesn't need anything. He doesn't actually use any plates whatsoever, except in Titan Takeover. If you do the break purple, get blue, that works right there. But this moveset right here doesn't need anything really. It's 4, it loads that, you're done and go. However, for those who don't know, this build right here with Armor King, you only need a midline bonus, and it hits for about 700 to 800 million easy. Crucifix Powerbomb, deal damage, increase your purple gem damage by 245%. This one makes a 5x5 area into multiply gems of strength 11 if you don't buff them, 13 with Armor King. Lariat Takedown, deal damage, make 48 random gems purple. So with Armor King now, you can use this moveset in most every mode. Keep in mind, you would need a 1 more MP in feud, so it's a midline, which is where I'm using him today or tomorrow, whenever the feud is of this weekend. But still, dang freaking good across the board. OTC is someone that everybody should have taken if they had the opportunity off the Doria prize wall. And I know it's too little too late for me to say that, but I would easily put him in the top characters in this game. So number 7 for me is OTC. Number 6. Someone who, maybe, do I like him? Oh, look at that, he's right here. Do I like him more than OTC? I don't know. It's hard to say, but my goodness, Ilja Dragunov is so good in this game. So good in this game. He does have the Summer of Champions moment. Green gems do 50% more damage, plus multiply gems increase their strength by 4. And you get 50% less damage from all color gems. Then you've got the fact that if you have at least the basic Piper plate, he hits insane damage. But then they went ahead and released a green Piper plate, and now your green gems do 600% more damage. So you get the 5 MP black, which means you only need Striker Woods to get started. Increase your green MP by 10. You make the bottom row into Pyro Gems, which makes everything into green. which is his primary color. And then you deal damage, make 13 random gems into multiply gems of strength 10, do your finisher, break the bottom row, or choose a 7x1 to break the bottom row, flawlessly reloads. You put Uncle Howdy on there, maybe a Seth Leonardo, maybe a Sherry Martel, plus the green Piper plate, and oh my goodness, his damage is just so good. Just so good. And the poster's just fun. I really like using Ilja. For those reasons, he is number 6 on our list. Number 5. Number 5 goes to Mommy's on top. Mommy's not on top of my list. She's not the number 1 female even on this list, and she's not the number 1 showboat, and she's not the number 1 character, but she's so good. I've mentioned it so many times. But if you have the evolution moment, all of these females are the very top of your roster. Perhaps the most of that goes to Mommy because Showboat means her health is way up there. She's way better than Showboat Becky, although Showboat Becky is phenomenal. There's 2 dominant ways to run her. One is her move damage build like this. The other one is her green reinforce build right here. And then you just keep the, where is it? This one. You keep this one not to use it, but as a reversal. You actually only need these 2 moves. Increase your green gem damage by 325%. Deal damage, make 49 random gems reinforce, then immediately make them into green. This one is if the opponent uses their move to charge anything, then you reverse them, which is huge, right? This move set right here with a green Royal Rumble plate hits very, very hard. The move damage build that was on her before that hits very, very hard. I use Mommy as my go-to for all stipulation tours. The speed tour, right? Who hits hardest? It's Mommy. She does a great job of that. And Autoplay does a great job of that. Who breaks the most gems? It's Mommy. She gets through Hell mode easily as long as the AI uses the right move. I have had it do it once where I had to catch it on Autoplay real quick. I'm like, crap. Okay, turn 2, I'm going to use the one move that breaks all the green gems. Plus, throwing that green Royal Rumble plate on there, it does some things, right? Use her in Feud, she's amazing. Use her in Boss Battle, she's amazing. Use her in Showdown, she's amazing because she also does have these links over here. Oh no, she doesn't have the Judgment link. Never mind. I thought she had the Judgment Day link. But we haven't talked about her gear, which she actually doesn't even need. I was so excited to get her gear. And if you're running the move damage build, this gear, which by the way just looks stinking phenomenal. This was such a fun War Games, with her wearing this outfit was really, really cool. Survivor Series 2004, it says it right there. War Games. Anyway, if you use this build, you actually don't need that at all because you're going to use... not Rhea. You're going to use Alexa Bliss, who gives you 2 MP plus your multi-gem or your reinforced gems go up, and then you're just using the other person that does 2 MP plus. I think it's who is it that's green? Well, either way, it's the Hall of Famer. I think it's Lex that does green plus your gems, your all gem damage. So those 2. So you actually don't even need her gear for this build. However, if you use the power or the move damage build, you absolutely need her gear, and then you just max out your move damage. So either way, if you have the gear, it's great. But for her best gem damage build, you don't even need it at all anymore because of Alexa. So she's very versatile. She's on that moment. She's also on this moment where you get less gem damage, all gem damage. So 50% down, 50% up, not bad. She's incredible. So for those reasons, she's our number 5. But there's a female, at least one female here I think is so good that she gets the top nod for my females of S plus tier. And it is number 4, Stephanie Vaquer. Stephanie Vaquer is surprisingly underrated. Like, I've heard people in our server say, is she even good? And I'm like, what? I had to show them that she does 200 million unblockable bleed damage turn 1 before people went, oh, right? So this moment right here, moves that cause bleed do 300% more bleed. You have this moment, you have yourself a 200 million bleeder right here. She does need on the entourage. Where's my loadout? Right here. So moves wise, all low charge, 5 MP, and then that loads the 10 MP. So Woods gets you started. If you've got Apollo, 200% more bleed. If you've got Ray Phoenix, 100% more bleed. If you've got this guy, 50% more bleed. If you don't have him, there's somebody who does, it's Raquel of the Judgment Day, I think, 75% more bleed, and black moves start with 2 more. You know, there's another one who I think does 100% bleed. So you're going to miss out on a bunch if you don't have Apollo. But that 300% bleed on the moment saves everything. If you don't have him, you can do Kyrie. So either way, let's just say you only hit for 120 million bleed turn 1. Are you going to be sad about that? Really? Are you going to be? Because look right here. Right here, it's up to 18 million bleed for 3 turns. So let's just round that up to 20 because math is easier with my brain. So that's 60 million bleed. 300% actually does quite a lot for that. But here's the deal. Even if you didn't have the gear, but you did have this, or you have this but don't have the, or vice versa, right? You're going to deal, let's just say it's 15 million bleed, 3 turns, which is 45 million. And then you turn around with this move, deal damage, choose a 5x1 area to swap into black gems. So you lay the bleed, you lay the black gems, you lay the bleed again. 45 million times 2 is 90 million, even if you don't have the things. But if you have the things, you're already in that 200 million range. And if you do it right, you can use this move again and reload the board. Typically, 5x1 does, of course, make a wild card, so it's a good chance you'll cascade. But if you cascade, you're already doing their maximum amount of health in bleed damage. 1, 2, 3, bleed, 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 boom, they're done, right? Or if you don't screw up, you hit the 200 million. Plus, what I haven't talked about is the fact that you are then also laying down power gems of strength 430k, and you're triggering them by that second 5x1. So you're doing your bleed plus your power gems, and your reversal is if the opponent used their move to increase their move damage, then you're adding more power gems. You steal the opponent's turn and go from there. You don't even have to use the finisher, but if you use the finisher, if you get to either where you just don't risk that second hit on the second move, or you get the second move and then you go into the finisher does a 7x1 area into black gems twice, which means you've triggered your power gems twice. So you don't even have to think about the fact that the bleed is doing max damage, but the power gems do make it to where you're going to hit them hard enough that they're going to get the 1, the 2, and that usually bleeds them out anyway. But then if they get to 3, I mean, absolutely, they've bled out by that point. So yeah, she's a little clicky, but she is so good. I didn't talk about her other build because I don't use it. I don't have her gear. Not very many people do. But blue gems do 350% more damage. You can run this other build, and she also hits for very good. Plus, you've got all colored gems do 100% more damage on the moment. So it does hit pretty hard. It does work. You have a second moveset if you want her. But for those reasons, Stephanie Vaquer is my favorite female in the S+ tier class, which means it's all male from here, baby. But I promise I think you'll see why I'm doing it this way. Number three on my list is going to be a character that I have only come to love more and more and more as I've gotten him. It is the great Dudinator himself, Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn has a pretty insane build here. It's reversed on this one, but either way, increase your yellow MP by 9. Is this the right setup? Wait a second. Where's the other? No, it's this one. And this is reversed anyway. The calf kick, 5 random gems and a 2-turn juggernaut that will increase bleed. No, that's not it. Hold on. Let me find my own Sami, because I just used this moveset and only this moveset, and I don't even think about it because it's so set it and forget it that. Hold on. Here's my Sami right here. There it is. Okay, so it's the Michinoku driver, so I did have that one right. Then it's the blue thunder bomb, and then it's the haluva kick. Okay, good. There we go. So this is a fantastic build. The reason I got confused is because I'm like, wait a second, you have to lay down the juggernauts twice. Here's how you do it, right? So you do need Braun. Braun and Kofi is your trainer slots. Let me see if I've actually got this set up here. I don't. It's fine. I just show you on mine. Braun and Kofi means that you will be able... Braun, Kofi, and Santa Hogan, anyway, means that you will be able to lay down the Blue Thunder Bomb, then run the Michinoku Driver, then lay down the Blue Thunder Bomb. So the Blue Thunder Bomb makes it to where you make 5 random gems into 2-turn Juggernaut gems that will increase your blue gem damage by 97% for 1 turn. So yes, you could use Seth freaking Rollins, but you actually get more out of it doing it this way. So Braun, Kofi, Santa Hogan, and Goldberg are your trainers. You're going to lay down in not just 5 random gems, but with Goldberg, you're laying down 7. You're laying that down times 2, which means 14, which is basically 1,400% minus 7, minus 14. Either way, it's a lot of percentage, right? Then you hit your haluva kick, which decreases your Juggernaut gems and immediately makes the effect go off. So you blow up the entire board with blue gems that you have buffed 1,400% on there. And if you run him in Titan Takeover, you Blue Thunder Bomb. The next turn, you Michinoku Driver. Blue Thunder Bomb goes off. You Blue Thunder Bomb, Michinoku Driver. If you do it right, you'll lay down the gems. If he leaves it between turns, you actually start your next turn by dropping Blue Thunder or Blue Gems, which loads the Michinoku Driver, which you then do again. You basically just keep alternating, and you hit your gems every single time you hit. Plus, my son's going outside. There's not only this moment, which increases your blue gems by 50 additional percent, but the new Rage Plate that you could add to him makes it to where every single time you make a set of Juggernaut gems, you increase 50% on your damage. So you go to the Rage Plate here and think about the fact that the build I just showed you lays down the Juggernaut gems twice per turn. So whenever you make 2 or more Juggernaut gems, increase all gem damage by 50% plus move damage. So you're getting 100% more gem damage there, and you're throwing down the blues, which means if you have an off the ropes and do then add this, sometimes you also trigger this twice, kind of like you do with Muda, although even if you just get the one, you get the entire board blue, then the entire board blue again, and they're buffed by 1,500%. So yeah, there's a lot going on with it, but Sami Dude is just freaking incredible. He's one of the best, if not the best showboat in the entire game. And yeah, he looks that stinking cool as well. However, I have to go back, just like we did with the A tier list. For number 2, we're going to a Voltron character. And that is Zombie CM Punk. Zombie CM Punk was good when he came out. And just like your Voltrons in the A tier, he keeps getting better. And oh my gosh, does he keep getting better. Like, first off, let's talk about the gear. Gear goes all color moves with 4 more MP, which means you don't need anybody because it's 5, 5. This loads this one. So you don't need any MP trainers. So what we're doing is the bite. Deal damage, increase your purple MP by 10. Also reverse getting subbed, which is nice. The X-Break build, welcome to the underworld, makes 35 random gems into X-Break gems. So most of the board. Then they'll let the body sit the floor. Deal damage, increase all of your gems by 426. Hold on. By 450%. So 450% to all gems. You're blowing up the entire board because it's X breaks. And then you go over to the plates. We'll do the moments here in just a second. But you go over to the plates and you have not only your 150% strap plus, whatever you add onto it, but you go right here and add the chemical X plate, which is your X break. Add X breaks, create multiply gems. Now you've got gems that are buffed by already 450%, and now they're multiplied times 8. If it lands on red, of course, that's your best one. And then, if you've got it, the Rainbow X break plate, I would argue this is the absolute best place to put the Rainbow X. Whenever you make 6 or more, or is that 4? 4 or more X break gems, increase your gem damage by 500% for one turn. So now you have a move that gives you 450% more damage, and then you have a plate that gives you 500% more damage. You've got X breaks with your trainers. You can put Omas on here. Why don't I have them loaded out here? Cora Jade, did I forget about her? X breaks do 75%. I don't even think I have her on my own, actually. But either way, you've got that. You've got Omas with 100. You got her with 75%. Most of the board is X break or multi. You've buffed your gems by 1,000% at this point, and then you blow up the board. Plus. He has so many moments. This is not his only one. This is red gems do 50. Gems do 50. Plus 50% more health. Plus, you have, is this the one I literally just did? Whoops. Plus this one, red gems do 50. X break do 150. And this is missing, and I think I am missing on my personal account as well. I hate that. It does it every single time. Hold on. Scroll down. Scrolling. This one, I'm missing it. You're missing it. The whole world is missing it. Why didn't they make it available? X-Break gems do another 100% on top of that. So 150% plus 100% plus your 200 or your 1000% that's already being added. Plus X-Breaks do this. Plus you got the, Voltron S plus tiers do not come better than this guy right here. Boss battle, yeah, he hits all the gems. Feud, yeah, instantly wins. Showdown, yep, you don't, if you got the gear, you don't need trainers, so you don't have to worry even about perks for him. Titan takeover. Every time you hit his finisher, 1, 2, 1, 2. You might need to load it with this, but you still hit this at least twice. You buff by 450% plus 500% every time you lay this down. So it's 500, 500, 500, 500, 500, 500. He doesn't have a hot tag, so you can't do the move where you just switch him out every single time, but you still can at least switch him out once, let your hot tag take the hit, get him back in there, and you've got thousands of percents on every color, and then he blows up the board. So this punk is dang good. But regrettably, there's one S plus tier that I have to give the nod to as the number one S plus tier character in the game, and it is John Cena, the hip hop hustler. I took this one off of the UCC. I am so happy that I did. He has 2 builds that are unstoppably good. His move damage build has a 1 MP move, so it literally cannot be nerfed. You go here, you go here, you go here. You hit for 90 to 100 plus million damage with this moveset. Cannot get nerfed no matter what. And my goodness, it hits hard. But if you've watched our videos, people say it doesn't work on combo moves, but it seems to work for me. Maybe it works for you. If you have the Rainbow Snowfall plate, you can buff your gems 1000%, plus you're making multiplied gems, which then get increased by at least 5 with that. I find he hits for about, hype level 1, about 450 million. And if you have hype level 4, it's just going to be even better. Boss battle, absolutely. He is a destroyer. He hits insanely hard. He is not, just like CM Punk wasn't, he's not one of your hot tag posters, but he has all of that going for him. Plus, if you've got the 8th anniversary moment, your multiply gems go up by 3 in addition to that. And you really only need Xavier and Kofi to get you started. I know that's only, but if they ever create a yellow and black MP4 person in one card, that would be insane because he'd go up even greater. Then you could start using Sherry on top of that. But yeah, you just put Kofi and Xavier. You do your Snowfall, you buff up your multi-gems as best as you can with the rest, and boom, he is insanely damage dealing. Plus, if you use the other build right here, this is the 1MP move, but while being submitted, you break the thing. So you can't get subbed, and you hit for insane damage as a move guy. Or here, turn 1, you pretty well have a good shot that you're not going to cascade because it's 5x1 Snowfall, and you then break the 5 immediately, which means that you're not turning them into a different color, so you're not risking getting a wild card gem most likely. Then right here, you flawlessly reload because it goes to black, but you don't worry about it because you want to cascade or finish them off at that point. So for all those reasons and more, I'm putting Hip Hop Hustler as the best S+ tier poster in the game. This was a hard decision, though. There were so many good ones. Did I overlook your favorite? Let me know in the comments section, because I promise there's so many good arguments for so many great S+ tiers. Again, by definition, these are the guys who are supposed to be the absolute best in the entire game. So choosing from the best of the best of the best, I mean, honestly, there's almost no way to lose. Except for those few S+ tiers that just don't belong. But that's another list for another time. Let me know what you think in the comments section. Like this video, subscribe to Champions Chat, and then send this to your friend or faction mate, because we put out about 2 videos per day. Most of them are pretty helpful, and hopefully not just you are watching, but you're sharing them so others will watch them too. See you on the next one, friends. Bye.